ARLAC is an association of labor administrations within Africa, the English-speaking countries, and we are here to formulate policies. As I mentioned in my speech, there are several draft policies that we are pursuing in order to ensure that labor administrations within the African regions are able to perform as expected. So ARLAC sets the standard for all of us, and we follow suit. As you well know, we have had labor issues in several African countries. There are examples that we can emulate. South Africa used to have several protests about 10, 15 years ago. The situation is different because of the institutions that they have put in place. We pray that the same will happen for the other African countries so as to ensure we have a conducive environment to expand our economy. So the object is twofold. Number one, to ensure that the environment within which our workers are working, both in the private sector and the public sector, is as conducive as possible. But ultimately, the main object is to ensure that our economies expand, because where working conditions are conducive, you can rest assured that productivity will also be very high. And thereafter, our economies will expand and our standard of living as a people, as African people, will expand. So we work together, establish synergy so as to ensure that each country is able to develop good policies that will effectively be able to benefit the people within those economies. 18 million Kenyans are in the informal sector. It's only about 2 million that are in the formal, 2 or 3 million that are in the formal sector. And therefore, the need for us to refocus again on the informal sector. You may have realized that this administration is putting a lot of emphasis on improving the economic status of those who are at the bottom of the economic pyramid. The better agenda that we have, the focus is on the informal sector. Because ideally, as we pump resources, as we come up with appropriate policies, the informal sector will convert to the formal sector. Currently is to get employment opportunities for young people who are highly skilled in the international labor market. Unlike what used to obtain before, where it was only unskilled labor that would access the international market. And here you're making reference to the Middle East. We are negotiating, particularly with Saudi Arabia, to come up with a bilateral labor agreement that is human rights based, and secondly, that will allow professionals to work in those economies. And not only Saudi Arabia, but the GCC countries. That is what we are pushing for. So we are renegotiating the BLAs that we had previously so as to incorporate our young people who are highly educated and who need these jobs.